Guys, it's that time again. Let's talk about what I picked up at the comic shop this week. So, I did want to say, I got a pretty decent stack, although I missed out on Phantom Road number 15. I'm not sure if it didn't come out or if my shop just didn't pick it up, but either way, I'll find a copy of it and talk to you guys about it. Alright, so I'd like to start off with the first two on the pile being these two that I'm going to talk about at a longer length. But we have the first issue of Everything Dead and Dying by Tate Brombell and Jacob Phillips. This is a book from Image, and it's a story about a man who has lost everything, but he's trying to hold it together. And it's not really in a meta sense. It's that he's literally trying to hold his little town in Canada together after what appears to be a sickness, a zombie outbreak, something along those lines. He's the only one that has been spared, and he's not really sure why. So we'll talk about that one in the initial assessment video, and we'll also talk about this. And I can't say anything more about it in this video, but this is my book of the week. It's fun, it's entertaining, it's a blast. It reminds me of the way that Spider-Man books used to be when I was a kid, when I was growing up. And it's cool because it's even got the throwback little Spider-Man group banner here, and got the Spider-Man that I remember from about 1994 to about 1998. I remember seeing things like that. So we'll talk about that in initial assessment as well. But for the books that I picked up this week, besides that, Flash Gordon issue number 11. And this is by Jeremy Adams with Will Conrad doing the artwork. And if I must say, Will Conrad is an amazing artist on this title. He brings all of his heart and his soul to this character who's almost 100 years old. You get Ming the Merciless, you get Flash Gordon, you get all of these things coming together. And now Flash has finally decided we have to kill Ming. We have to, that's the only way to move forward, is to take him out. And his daughter says, I'm surprised that it's taken you so long to come to this conclusion. And more importantly, we have this other Flash, and we don't really know what's going on with him, but he is pure D evil with a capital E. So you know he and our Flash are going to meet up at some point. But he has allied himself with Ming the Merciless in order to get the things that he needs in order to pretty much fix his time machine. And then he'll bring all of his forces from his universe, his parallel universe, and try to take over with Ming the Merciless, take over this universe. Let's see if I see any other. The colors in this book are absolutely amazing, and you get to see that spacefaring, artwork that you would expect from a story like this. Flash is so much larger than just being on Earth. He finds himself in different multiverses, he finds himself in different planes, he finds himself, like I said, fighting with this doppelganger that attacks him out of nowhere, and he says, I don't have a quarrel with you. I have no reason to fight you. Why are you attacking me? Before Jeremy Adams took this book over, I never thought I would enjoy a Flash Gordon book, but I read the first trade paperback with the first 5 issues in it, and then I've gotten the floppies ever since issue 6, and it's quickly becoming one of my favorite books that comes out. And it doesn't come out every month, but when it does come out, I would say every other month, then I am never disappointed. Now, I'm not sure that I'll stay on it after Jeremy Adams leaves, because I do enjoy the story he's telling. I might give whoever the next creative writer and possibly artist team is, I might give them 6 issues just to see if I still enjoy it. But for right now, I'm loving life, and I'm loving Flash Gordon, issue number 11. I had to have this. I mean, how cool is that, man? You've got this, and it says, ask an adult for help. You know what? At 43, I would probably still have to ask my wife for help if I decided to cut this thing out, because I would mess it up. Somehow, some way, I would mess it up. I'm not really sure how, but I am not exactly the most coordinated at cutting out masks. But, you know, that could work. That could work. That would be pretty cool. So we have issue 975, also known as issue 11 of this volume of Amazing Spider-Man. And you've got Joe Kelly doing 2 full-size stories. You've got John Romita Jr. penciling with Scott Hanna inking 1 story, and then Pepe Larraz doing pencils and inks on the 2nd story. So you get double the pleasure, double the fun. And say what you will about Romita's artwork, but he still got it. He still got it. You can see it's not as detailed as it was, but that was 30 years ago. My artwork wouldn't be as detailed now as it was 30 years ago either, because you just find ways to not cut corners. But I think I've mentioned this before in previous videos, and they say the older that an artist gets, then the fewer lines they need to tell the story that they're trying to tell. Because when you're 17, 18, 20 years old, everybody is trying to be Todd McFarlane. Everybody's trying to be whatever variation of their Todd McFarlane was. They put all the details, and there's cross-hatching and all that stuff into each and every panel. And as you get older, you come to learn that storytelling in a comic book is cinematic. And that's one thing about Romita Jr. is he's always been excellent at telling these cinematic stories. You can knock his line work all day long and twice on Sunday if you so desire. But at the end of the day, the man is a consummate storyteller with his art, and you could take in 99% of the stories that you can ask him to draw, you could take the verbiage out of it and you could tell exactly what was going on in each panel. Because he's just that good of a storyteller. His father passed down his storytelling chops to his son. And I don't know why. I said this before at the end of the last run of Amazing Spider-Man. He loves Spidey as a character. He loves Peter Parker as a character. He's a fellow New Yorker. But I just have a feeling again that once he's done with this run of ASM, that we probably won't get another long form John Romita, since he's earned the title, since his father's passing. We probably won't get another John Romita long run on Amazing Spider-Man again. So enjoy it for what it is, folks. I'm enjoying the heck out of this. And you get to see, here you get to see Spider-Man confront who appears to be Peter Parker. There's more to it than that, and I'm not going to spoil who it is. If you've been reading Spidey comics for the last little while, you'll figure out who it is pretty easily, I would say. Now, Spider-Man, you may not figure out who that is so easily. But again, say what you will about Romita, but when he puts his heart and his soul into this line work of these two men grappling with one another, he has no peer. He has no peer. He is at the top of his game with panels like that. You see those characters big as life right there in front of you. Right there in front of you. So it's weird, it's strange, but I tell you what, I enjoyed the hell out of this issue. And I haven't been able to say that in a long time. This felt like an old school Howard Mackie, John Romita Jr., Peter Parker Spider-Man issue. Even when Pepe Larraz took over, you can tell the love that Joe Kelly has for this character. And that's not something that can be overstated. Because again, 2 words for you: Zeb Wells. Zeb Wells did not understand this character. He might have once upon a time, and maybe things in his personal life were going on that kept him from totally putting his efforts behind that run. But so far, with this one issue, Joe Kelly has shown me that he still knows who Spider-Man is. And he respects who Spider-Man is. So, as long as this title continues on in this manner, don't let him go, Niccolo. Don't be stupid. Don't let him off the title. Let him continue on this book. Because I got that giddy sense of a story that I read when I was 12, 13. So enjoy this title, because in 24 issues, or 25 issues, we get issue 1000 of Amazing Spider-Man. And that will be something to see. I have no idea what they're going to do, but that's going to come in about a year from now. So this time next September, we'll be talking about Amazing Spider-Man 1000. And I really hope that John Romita Jr. is still on this title and that Joe Kelly is on this title. And that's not to take away anything from Pepe Larraz, because at the back of the title, you get to see Peter Parker here. And I'm not going to spoil anything in this book for you. Normally, I feel like I might go through there and tell you all the beats of a story. I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but I'll say that Peter finds what he thinks is a science friend, we'll say, because they both want to experiment and grow. But it turns out that this guy's something completely different. Let's see. What did he say? What was his name? Dr. Starblood. So Dr. Starblood is the character that can help this apparent Peter Parker. But then in the end, it doesn't end up being the kind of friendship that Peter was expecting. Pick up this book. It's $8. It's a little bit thicker price-wise than what you're used to paying. But this particular anniversary issue is the first anniversary issue that hasn't let me down in quite a while. All right, 2 more to go, guys. The Walking Dead Deluxe issue 120. I cannot show you any interior pages because almost every page has Negan cussing like a sailor. I guess for like 2 seconds I can show you this particular page. So you get to see our friend and my namesake Heath blown up. But he's not dead. Don't worry, he's not dead. But you get to see the continuation of Negan's fight with Rick and with Alexandria, and you get to see exactly how far Negan is willing to go to show Rick, force Rick to show some respect. So this is still an amazing book. You get to see Rick at his best, Negan at his best, Carl maybe not at his best, but we're halfway through All Out War in color this time around. And this is still one of the best books on the shelf, even though it's just a reprint of something that's already come before. And the last book is the Tin Can Society, issue 8 of 9. We've got Peter Warren with Rick Remender helping on the writing, and then Francesco Mobili and Chris Chuckery is the colorist. And here you have Johnny and all of his friends in the drink, and they're trying to escape. And they're trying to save that's what I didn't really understand. I get that his friend, the football star, let's see. Let's see what this is. the baby. So they end up putting the baby in one of the helmets because it's airtight and therefore watertight. Get down, Pepper, get down. So they put the baby in here, and then they send it with the football player buddy of his. He says, I'll get him to the surface. Even though we've got all of these armored goons that look just like me, I will get him to the surface. And so he did. He got him to the surface, and then he himself got drugged down by these characters, only to be brought back up. And Johnny makes his heroic reappearance. And unfortunately, we got this dirty-mouthed lady here who is so not happy about Johnny and company being alive. And at the end of this, we're gonna get shown. She says, who wants to go first? So we know who the villain is since the last 2 or 3 issues, and what happened to Johnny and why he had to fake his own death. But next month, or whenever it does come out, we get the final issue, and we get to see who gets it for all the marbles. It's kind of lost its way. It was really an interesting whodunit and how did they do it at the beginning, and then it lost its way a little bit. But in the end, I'm still enjoying the Tin Can Society, and I can't wait to read issue 9 of 9. Guys, that is it for this week. Let me know what you're reading, what you're loving, what you're hating. Are you dropping anything off your list of books that you collect each and every week? Have you found a new LCS that you enjoy and they cater to you for what you need? Just let me know in the comments. I hope you guys have some time to read your books on this lovely, lovely day. And I will catch you guys in the next upcoming video. Take care.